Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the Phase 6, the last phase of Classics, Fury Warrior BIS list. I've been waiting for this since the first time we've played WoW. It's time to enter into Naxxramas. This is something that I never had a chance to do back in the day when I was playing Classic. A lot of you guys didn't have the chance to do that, and it's a very exciting time. A lot of us have done the content like Molten Core, like BWL. Some of us have even cleared AQ back in the day, so Naxx is fresh for a lot of people. With that comes a lot of excitement, and it's also kind of bittersweet because this is the end of Classic WoW, but we've all had a really good time, and there's some beast gear in this place. So we're going to go over that today. Fight Club has published their BIS list about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. And what do we know about Fight Club? This means that there's been a lot of theory crafting put into this list. There's been a lot of simming, a lot of looking at alternate gear sources and all of that. So this is going to be our best indicator as to how we want to orient our gear discussion as we go about spending DKP, clout with the loot council, whatever it may be. These are the pieces that you want to get. So we're going to go over those today. We're going to sim some gear. Now, before we get started, guys, if you don't mind dropping a like on the video and subscribing to the channel if you enjoy my content. Looking forward to making more Classic WoW and TBC related videos as we go into the future, maybe even branching into some other content. But all that said, please drop a like and subscribe, and let's get into the BIS list. Before we get into the list, let's check out my gear right now so you can see what my baseline is. Main handing chromatically tempered sword. I have Brutality Blade in my offhand because Maladath won't drop. Lionheart Helm. Using Eye of Akaran, Ani Tooth pendant depending on what gear I'm running. Conqueror's Spaulders on the shoulders. Cloak of Concentrated Hatred on the back. Switch that off with Cloak of Draconic Might depending on what buffs I have. Chest, we got the Conqueror's Breastplate. Wrist, we're running Hive Deathler wrist guards. Hands, we have the Gauntlets of Annihilation. Big boy hands. Onslaught Girdle, love that thing. Conqueror's leg guards, thick legs. Chromatic boots, you guys know what those are. Don Julio's band, yeah, I run Don Julio's band and Quick Strike Ring right now. And I have Diamond Flask and then Badge of the Swarm Guard. My guild does not do improved exposed armor, and this trinket is OP. And then I have Striker's Mark. Alright guys, so in terms of buffs that I'm simming with, I'm simming full world buff. So right now, DPS coming out to 1377. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's take a look at the BIS list. How we're going to go about this, we're going to go from Helm down, down this way, down through all the way through the trinkets, and we're going to do human dual wield, orc dual wield, and then we're going to look at what's going on if you're not a human or an orc. So on the Helm, we're running Lionheart Helm still running the Lionheart Helm. If we look at the Lionheart Helm, guys, I mean, it's easy to know why. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. 18 strength, 2 hit, 2 crit. This is just like a piece you set and forget in Phase 1, and still at Phase 6, it's going strong. I hate the way this thing looks. It looks like a level 46 item, but I wish Transmog was in this game. I really do. But it is what it is. I don't have my helm enabled because I don't like the way it looks, but I love the stats on this thing. So that's Lionheart Helm for you. Helm of Endless Rage, Conqueror's Crown. Depending on the amount of buffs you run and what your hit's at, you may want to pick up a Helm of Endless Rage and do some simming. But what I've found is that Lionheart Helm, even when I sim it with some of the other helms, sometimes I find that I'm losing DPS. Lionheart Helm's still better. Once again, guys, just want to put a caveat on this whole list. This is Fight Club's BIS list if you get all of these pieces. Now, this is not a one-to-one vanilla situation to where you copy and paste their list onto your character. You're going to get these pieces gradually. So what's BIS for you is going to change depending on how you get this gear, what you have currently, all that kind of stuff. So there's going to be larger DPS upgrades relative to your gear and then some other items. So always remember, while this is a BIS list and it's a good thing to follow, you need to be simming yourself. You need to be cognizant of what buffs you normally run if you want to gear yourself optimally. So those are the helms. Lionheart Helm, Helm of Endless Range, Conqueror's Crown. You guys know those. New necklace. We're going to finally get rid of the Eye of Hakar and the Ani Tooth pendant. Storm Rage's Talisman of Seething. You're seething. So good. 2 crit, 26 attack power. That's really good. If I look at, let's go ahead and check the sim out. We're going to go to the neck, and we're going to change from Eye of Hakar. We're going to do our DPS again. We're at 1377. Let's change from the Eye of Hakar to the Seething Neck. And yeah, 4 or so more DPS, 5 DPS. So an upgrade for sure. Is it going to change your life? Probably no. We know the Barb Choker from AQ. That's 1 crit, 44 attack power, still really good. The problem, it's not a problem, but the thing you run into with the necks and with the rings, I still need to look at what Band of Unnatural Forces is, but they're very close. So do you want to blow your load, all your DKP on Stormranger's Talisman of Seething if you see it drop and you already have like Barb Choker? Probably not. Do you want to get it eventually? Yes, you do. Shoulders, we know the shoulders, guys. Conqueror's Boulders are still BIS, and we look at these things. 20 strength, 16 agility, 21 stamina, 4 defense, 1 hit. Chances are, if you've been rating AQ for a while, you have these already. And I love the way they look. I wish they'd fix the coloring on these things. They're kind of dull. Blizz just isn't fixing that like they did Purge's Blade back in the day. It is what it is, but I wish they'd fix that. But these are the Conqueror's Boulders. Thick boy DPS gear. You'd love to see that. I think one thing you'll notice as a warrior who has been rating AQ as opposed to how we were in MC and BWL, we switched a ton of leather and mail gear for plate gear with plus stam and plus defense on it in Phase 5. So what I found personally is that I get really ballsy, especially if I'm flashed up, DPS in some of these bosses, because I know I can take like 4 or 5 boss hits before dying, and that gives my healers plenty of time to heal me. It's not like I'm being globaled like you were in BWL when you're still running, all Savage Glad Chain and all that. So that's the shoulders. You should get Conqueror's Boulders, guys. It should be pretty easy to get now if you have a good guild that's running AQ a lot. Not a lot of people should need it anymore. For Cloak, moving to the Cloak, we have the Shroud of Dominion. This is a new cloak here. Looks pretty cool, I guess. Got a little skull in the middle going on. We've got 11 stamina, 1% crit, 50 attack power with 1% crit. Now, I think this is actually pretty good, especially if you've lost world buffs, because I think the BIS cloak in Phase 5 was the Concentrated Hatred. And that thing, you've got 1% hit on there, but a lot of times, like, you're already running so much hit that, like, especially if you don't have world buffs, if you've wiped, doesn't make sense adding more. So, let's see. Once again, let's change the neck back. Need to remember to keep doing this to keep our baseline the same. We're at 1377. Let's change this to, what's this cloak called again? Shroud? The Shroud, dude? We're going to be good as Shroud with this thing on? Be headshotting people? Alright, Shroud Dominion. We're at 1377. Let's see what that goes. Alright, that's actually showing a DPS loss for me. But Guybrush really, really likes hit, and I am running full world buffs, so, like, it's probably better for you if you've lost world buffs, and then I could sim it without the world buffs, but let's just go ahead and safely assume that Shroud of Dominion, Cloak of the Fallen God, Cloak of Concentrated Hatred, Drape of Unyielding Strength. These are all very close to each other, guys. Very close. You're not going to see the DPS bump you would from getting something like Gressel, Dawn of Ruin, or the Hungering Cold, as opposed to getting Shroud of Dominion. So like the neck piece, don't go and spend 5 million DKP on the Shroud of Dominion if you've got Cloak of the Fallen God or the Cloak of Concentrated Hatred. A new thing, addition to this list, Cloak of the Fallen God has actually been bumped up quite a bit. I think that's because they didn't want to put it on the BIS list beforehand because a lot of classes this was BIS for it, but when it drops every week, I think it's, a lot of people have it by now. I think this cloak looks dope, really cool. 11 strength, 26 agility, 15 stamina. So good cloak for sure. Let's go ahead and switch the cloak back to my baseline. Okay, moving on to the chest piece. The chest piece. Two new chest pieces here. So first, as BIS, we have the Plated Abomination Rib Cage. Let's check this beast out. 45 strength, 25 stamina, 1 crit, 1 hit. Looks kind of dope. That's pretty damn good. I mean, let's compare that to the Conqueror's Breastplate. So let's compare that to what I have on now. So Conqueror's Breastplate's 34 strength, 24 agility, and 38 stamina. This is pretty good, but I'm going to bet that it's not that much better. Wow, I was totally wrong. It's a lot better. So moving from the Conqueror's Breastplate up to the Plated Abomination Ribcage, for me, is like a 15 DPS upgrade, which is pretty good, guys. pretty damn good. So you definitely want to prio this in your loot discussions. Plated Abomination Ribcage, giving you a lot of great stats, and the armor on that thing is thick. Let's see, is it more armor than? It's less armor than Conqueror's Breastplate, but you're going to have a lot more offensive stats there, so that's good. Ghoul Skin Tunic, what is this? What's going on with the Ghoul Skin Tunic? Leather, ew, leather, but 40 stamina, 2 crit, 40 strength, 22 stamina, 2 crit. Still really good. Looks kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. Maybe. Depends on how you like it. Let's look at the Ghoul Skin Tunic on the sim. Yeah, it's pretty much on par, at least from a DPS perspective. You're probably, you're definitely going to want the ribcage over it, though, even if they're the same on paper from a DPS perspective, at least with my buffs and my gear sim. However, plate versus leather, you want the plate 11 out of 10 times. And then we have the Breastplate Annihilation and the Conqueror's Breastplate. I covered those in the Phase 5 BIS list. Let's change back to the baseline here. So big upgrade on the chest. That might be one of the bigger upgrades here. So now we have the Wrist Guards of Vengeance coming in as new BIS Wrist Guards. Let's check these bad boys out. They're plate, 24 strength, 10 stamina, 1% crit. Okay, not bad, not bad. I mean, you compare those to Hive Deathler, and it's just the 23 strength and 18 agility. So they're those glass cannon type of pieces. So this is definitely really good. I'm going to assume, however, just given how they're probably very close to each other in terms of DPS. Let's look. Let's go to the wrist. This is the Wrist Guards of Vengeance. Yeah, they're pretty similar in terms of Hive Deathler versus this. They're a little bit better, but you're getting the stamina, and that's what we want. So you're definitely gonna want to grab these. This probably shouldn't be your #1 prio. You probably still want to go to AQ, grab those Hive Deathlers, but still good. However, all right, so let's move to Gauntlets now. Gauntlets. So Gauntlets still rolling with the Gauntlets of Annihilation, and pretty damn easy to see why. These are BIS until the end of the game. If you're lucky enough to get them from Cthulhu, I've got them. 35 strength, 15 stamina, 1% crit, 1% hit. You throw 15 agility on these bad boys. I mean, they're just beast mode. I think they look cool. They match the Conqueror set very well. They're already included in my sim. I have these already. So they're very good, guys. Very good gloves. And then you've also got the Gloves of Enforcement. These are really good gloves if, your rogues are done getting gear. And 28 strength, 20 agility. You still Gauntlets of Annihilation. If you're trying to complete the game, right? You not only want to kill what's his name, Kel'Thuzad, you also want to BIS your character out completely. Gauntlets of Annihilation are absolutely key. You really want those. All right, guys. So the second half of this list, from a armor perspective, from gear perspective, with trinkets and rings, this is where this gets fun. So we've got a new BIS belt, guys. Onslaught Girdle. Take a seat, young man. It is time. It is your time in the limelight is over. It's time. Girdle of the Mentor is the new best friend. 21 strength, 20 agility, 21 stamina, 1 crit, 1 hit. Very good, very good. My spider sense tells me that it's not going to be a massive upgrade over Onslaught Girdle. Let's see if I'm right. Did we switch the wrist back? Yes, we did. All right, so let's see here. Going into the waist. Let's take a look at Girdle of the Mentor versus Onslaught Girdle. Yeah, minor upgrade, guys. 1 or 2 DPS better than Onslaught Girdle. Definitely really good. Onslaught Girdle may be hard for you to get at this point because, let's be real, how many guilds are still doing full clears of Molten Core that aren't binding runs? I haven't done a full clear of Molten Core in forever. I was lucky enough to get Onslaught Girdle early on. Well, actually, medium on. It took me a while, but I'm not still trying to get it. So if you haven't been able to get an Onslaught Girdle, then Girdle of the Mentor is going to be great. Even if you have Onslaught Girdle, you still want to get Girdle of the Mentor eventually. It is better, but how much better it is from a raw numbers perspective is up for debate. For me personally, it's 1 or 2 DPS better. Not going to be something I'm prioing. Going off this sim so far, going off what we've learned, looking at this list right now, just from what we've simmed and looked at, I would be prioing Plated Abomination Ribcage over everything. Given the gear I already have. The gear you have might change that. You might have the Conqueror's Breastplate, but have the Triad Girdle or some level 53 green belt, then you're going to want a Prio Girdle with the Mentor. That's how it works. All right, so let's move into the legs here. New legs, yay. Another new Ingram to go get, or whatever the hell they're called. Leg Plates of Carnage, let's check them out. These are the BIS. Where are they at? We got 2 leg plates of the Apocalypse. We need leg plates of Carnage in here. So, these legs look really cool. Some sick black looking yoga pants here. 42 strength, 18 stamina, 2% crit. That's awesome. What I love, so what's great about Nax is that you look at these gear, you look at like the plate Abomination ribcage, you look at the leg plates of Carnage. They're essentially doing what Phase 5 did, bringing us this thick boy plate gear for our DPS warriors. But now this plate gear is itemized for DPS. There's no plus defense on it. There's no like hit that we don't necessarily need. We're getting lots of crit, lots of strength. The numbers you're going to be able to do in Nax gear, going back to like do Lucifron or Magmadar, is going to be absolutely crazy. It's going to be so much fun. So, leg plates of Carnage, yeah. So let's check those bad boys out. So let's switch back to my Onslaught Girl just to get my baseline here. Let's go to the legs. So I'm running Conqueror's legs with plus 8 strength right now. Let's look at the leg plates of Carnage with plus 8 strength. And yeah, that's like a 9-8 DPS upgrade. This is the second biggest upgrade I've found so far personally. So definitely really good. Let's look at leg plates of the Apocalypse. This is our secondary BIS for the legs in Phase 6. They're leather. 15 strength, 31 agility, 23 stamina, 2% crit. So they look dope. Those look really cool. But they're leather. So guys, I mean, this is a good, if you can get them, they're definitely going to be pretty damn good, but once again, guys, they are leather. So when it comes to one of the biggest things with the debate between like leather and plate and classic, when some of the stats on leather gear is better, and mail gear, with the world buff meta, you want to be able to take more damage. You want to be able to take more hits. You do not want to die. If you die, you lose your world buffs. Everyone has their world buffs. You might as well just like go AFK or start watching something on your second monitor, because you're not even going to be close. That's like the unfortunate reality of classic WoW, is that like you're a god with all the world buffs, but as soon as you mess up and lose them, GG. So I personally can't wait for TBC to come out so like that can go away. But I definitely enjoy being fully world buff. Just as a warrior, it's absolutely insane. So you want the plate gear to keep yourself world buff. So that's the legs. Let's look at the boots. Boots are still the same, guys. We're still rocking the chromatic boots. You know, this is one of those pieces you get in Phase 2. You wear them to the end of the game. Sick. Red boots. We all know what they look like by now. 20 strength, 20 agility, 19 stam, 1 hit. Really good boots, guys. And there's also some good secondary options like Boots of the Fallen Hero, Boots of the Vanguard. So you can still get great boots, but chromatic boots are still BIS. I didn't realize how rare they are. I got mine like really early, like second clear of BWL, and then didn't see another pair drop for like 10 weeks. So I got lucky with the boots. All right, so let's take a look at the rings. We got one new ring here, the Band of Unnatural Forces. Let's see what's going on here with the rings. Rings have been underwhelming to me personally, from a DPS perspective. I've had the same rings forever. I'm running Don Julio's band from Phase 1 and Quick Strike ring from Phase 1. So like, I haven't been prioing rings. I don't see them drop very often, and let's be real, they're not, all of them don't have that big of upgrades over the others if you have any of these already. Obviously, if you're running level 46 blue rings and you get, you know, Circle of Applied Force, it's a massive upgrade for you. So let's take a look at it. Band of Unnatural Forces. 1% crit, 1% hit, 52 attack power. Okay, so this is like an upgraded version of Don Julio's. So let's check. We'll keep Quick Strike ring in there. Don Julio's is the same stats, but you're getting some stamina and you're getting less attack power. So this is about 40 more attack power than Don Julio's. And what's this thing called again? Band of Unnatural Forces. There it is. All right, let's see what it is. Wow. Okay, Band of Unnatural Forces. Like an 11 DPS upgrade. This is our second biggest upgrade we found so far. These weapons are going to be much, much bigger. But as of right now, they're still really good. So Band of Unnatural Forces, guys, might be worth might be worth, especially if you're really, like, let's be real, if you're in a Blue Council guild and you got BIS weapons in phase 5, and you know there's a poor soul like me in the raid who's still with the brutality blade, and you know you're going to be lower prio for a weapon, you may want to throw your hat in the ring for that band of unnatural forces, especially if your rings are booty sauce. All right, let's look at the trinkets. So 2 new trinkets in. Look at Diamond Flash, still going strong in phase 6. You love to see that. You absolutely love to see that. A little coffee. Keep the numbers flowing. Keep the parses pumping. All right. So trinkets, BIS trinket, Kiss of the Spider. Let's look at this bad boy. 1% crit, 1% hit, use. Increases your attack speed by 20% for 15 seconds. That is crazy. That's insane. That's so good. That is so good. That's like having a Inferior Demolisher on cooldown. If you have Inferior Demolisher, I wonder if this stacks. You could have a weak aura that shows you when Inferior procs, and then use this, so you're attacking 40% faster. Oh man. We kill a lot of world bosses in my guild, so like that's gonna be a problem. And I'm gonna be dealing with some of these warriors just doing crazy attack speed on me. All right, so let's switch back to our ring baseline here. What happened? Why am I so much lower? Oh, Circle of Don Julio's been okay. All right, so let's all right. So we're gonna keep Diamond Flask, and we're going to mess with. We're gonna mess with this one. So this is going to be, wow. Okay. That's weird. I'm seeing that it's a DPS loss for me over using Badge of the Swarm Guard. Like a massive DPS loss. That's weird. Probably something wrong there. Or that just may mean that Badge of the Swarm Guard is just so good when you're not running improved exposed armor. Let's look. I think there's like a caveat here. So I think what's going on here is that Badge of the Swarm Guard is just amazing for me in my guild because we don't run improved exposed armor. So that's why it's so damn good. But let's say you're running Black Hand's Breath. So you're simming around 1341. If you switch to Kiss of the Spider, that doesn't make any sense. That's a BIS trinket. Why is it? What if you have Hodge? Huh? I don't know. Someone better than me, someone smarter than me should probably let me know in the comments below why this is simming so poorly. It is BIS. The stats on it are amazing. I don't understand why it's not simming on par with even Hodge. I don't get it. Is it because I'm world buffed? Let's see. All right, so we're at 977 without world buffs. If I switch to Badge of the Swarm Guard, I'm at 1,000. If I switch to Kiss of the Spider, I'm at 977. If I switch to Hodge, I'm at 980. Okay, I don't understand what's going on here, guys. Let me know in the comments below, like, why is this a sim? Is this a problem with the Guybrush sim? Is this trinket just overrated? I don't know what's going on, guys, but for me personally, what the sim's telling me is that it's not better than Badge of the Swarm Guard. It's not even better than freaking Hodge, which makes no sense to me. That trinket is so good on paper. So more to be found there. So next trinket is Slayer's Crest. This increases attack power by 260 for 20 seconds. 260 attack power for 20 seconds. That's a 2-minute cooldown. That's pretty damn good. That's like an Earth Strike that you have, but it's also giving you statically 64 attack power the entire time. So let's see what's going on with Slayer's Crest. Wow. So once again, still simming quite lower than Badge of the Swarm Guard. Not simming too much higher than Diamond Flask. Simming lower than DFT. It's got to sim higher than, yeah, it sims higher than Earth Strike. Does it sim higher than Jam Gabar? It sims on par with Jam Gabar. Yeah, guys, this is weird with the trinkets. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like there's something going on with the sim. I may have to put just a little bit more research on these guys and give you an update in the comments. But I was not expecting to see this. I was expecting to see Kiss of the Spider and Slayer's Crest be very high in terms of added DPS, and from what I'm seeing here on the sim, they're not even higher than Hodge, which makes no sense. So I don't know, guys. Let's put a pin in that for now, and I'll post an update. I need to look through Fight Club, see what they're saying, because obviously, if this is true, then that's going to be a topic of a pretty robust discussion there. If it's not, then there's something wrong with the sim. Oh, so those are active trinkets. Okay, but we have passive trinkets. Let's look at the passive trinkets. Let's look at Mark of the Champion, and let's take a look at, we know DFT, we know all those. All right, so you essentially, what you're going to want is, depending on the trinkets you run and the length of the fight, that's going to determine whether you want to use a passive trinket, double unused trinkets, if you have something like Badge of the Swarm Guard and Diamond Flask like I'm using. But let's look at Seal. Let's look at Mark of the Champion here. Where's it at? Mark of the Champion? Where is it? It's not on here. Oh, here it is. Okay. Where is it? Oh, okay. Verse Undead. And then we'll put our secondary trinket as Diamond Flask. All right, so let's see. Remember, we were at 1377 as a baseline. 1378 with Mark of the Champion when we're using Verse Undead. So that's pretty cool. Definitely a really good trinket. Simming on par as Badge of the Swarm Guard for me. And Drakemane Talisman, you guys know this one. DFT is just a huge trinket that is so good, especially when you're fully world buffed. That just gives you a lot of good stuff that you need. 56 attack power, 2% hit. You guys know DFT. All right, so those are the trinkets. Let's look at the guns. I don't think there's much to look at here. Larvae of the Great Worm is still BIS. 1% crit, 18 attack power, and then we have a new item called Soul String. Soul String. It looks dope as hell. 1% crit, 16 AP. What you'll find with the bows, very similar to the neck and to the wrists in Phase 6. Not a lot of difference between these guys. I'm probably just going to roll with Striker's Mark to the end of the game unless I can get Larvae of the Great Worm. But I'll be honest with you, how my guild does things, you only have to go to the first tier, the current tier, and then optional raids. You can go optionally. We have 2 raid teams. They both do the first tier once a week, and then we have 1 raid group comprised of both raid teams that do BWL. Probably won't be going back to AQ. I already have everything I need, and to be honest with you, I was disappointed in AQ. I was really excited for it, but I find it's boring. I don't know. I don't like it. I like BWL better. Probably cut this out. Let's just stay on the sim. All right, so those are the armor and trinkets and ranged. It is time for the moment everyone's waiting for. It's time to start talking about it's time to stop talking about all this boring stuff, and it's time to talk about weapons. Weapons, what we play the game for, guys. We don't play the game for the social camaraderie. We don't play the game for excitement. We play this game to get world buffs each week, dodge people who are purging, and get weapons, guys. Let's take a look at our new BIS weapon setup. So first, let's take a look at Gristle Dawn of Ruin. We have a new BIS main hand weapon. I think this drops off Kel'Thuzad, yeah. And it's 9% drop rate. I have not seen one Ancient Karaji Ripper drop in all of AQ yet. So I don't know how rare these weapons are going to be, guys. But it might indeed be pretty rare. 73.15 damage per second with a 2.7 speed. That's good. 15 stamina, 40 attack power. Looks absolutely dirty. Looks so dope. Let's see how it sims here. Gristle Dawn of Ruin. Woo! That's a 30 DPS upgrade, boys. So this, weapons, guys. Weapons are going to be your number one priority going into next if you've geared out appropriately in phase 5. A lot of these other upgrades, the biggest upgrade I had was Plated Abomination Ribcage and the Band of Unnatural Forces, and those are 15 to 10 DPS upgrades respectively, like Plates of Carnage as well. But these weapons absolutely blow this stuff out of the water. So you want to prio the weapons, but guess what? Everyone's going to be prying the weapons. So this is the last phase. Get dirty, dig up dirt on your guild mates, ruin friendships, get the weapons. I'm just kidding, but prio the weapons though. All right, so Gristle Dawn of Ruin. Big upgrade right there. Let's switch back to the baseline here and check out the offhand. Now, next for main hand, we have the Castigator. I don't even know what this is. What is this? This is a mace. 2.6 speed, 1% crit, 1% hit, 16 attack power. That looks dope as hell. Who's this drop off of? Thaddeus? 10% drop rate. Okay, let's check it out. Let's check it out. Where are we at here? We're at 1377 with good old CTS. Check out the Castigator. Big upgrade there too, guys. In fact, only around a 6 DPS decrease from Gristle. So like this is you could easily run this instead of Gristle if you've got a million people in line for Gristle, which I guarantee that you will. So maces might be the play if you're a human in phase 6 because you're not gonna have to deal with those stinky rogues stealing all of our stuff. All right, so next we have the Misplaced Servo Arm. This is a trash drop, and I think a lot of people are looking at this as a pretty damn good weapon just because I think it might drop a lot. I don't know. Let's take a look here. Misplaced Servo Arm, where are you? USIM on par with CTS for me. So, I mean, really good weapon for sure, but it's not as good as the Castigator or Gristle Dawn of Ruin. Those are your BIS weapons, guys. Especially. All right, so let's look at an offhand perspective. So some caveats. So we know, guys, all of the others. Infuriating Demolisher, if you're lucky enough to get that, still really good. CTS, AQR, stinky ass Brutality Blade still, and the Spine Shatter. We know those weapons, guys. So the main 3 new ones here are Gristle Dawn of Ruin, Castigator, and the Misplaced Servo Arm. So let's move to the offhands for human. So we've got the Hungering Cold here. Now, Hungering Cold, that is 14 stamina, 140 armor, 73 damage per second, very quick attack speed, and plus 6 swords, guys. So if I switch from, I bet this is going to be a massive upgrade. So let's go to Hungering Cold from Hungering Cold. All right, so let's switch from Brutality Blade to Hungering Cold. 60 DPS upgrade. Health is odd. Okay, 17% drop chance. So Health is odd, dropping some good shit, man. Health is odd. Last boss in the game, not disappointing from a weapons drop perspective. Hungering Cold, if you're like me, still rocking a booty sauce Brutality Blade. I don't want to hate on the Brutality Blade too much. It's done me very well. But 60 DPS upgrade, guys. That's huge. That's very huge. Especially, oh my god. Let's just do this real fast. Let's do Hungering Cold with Gristle in the main hand. I'm even scared to do this. It might break my computer. Wow. Like an 80 DPS upgrade from what I'm currently running with CTS Brutality Blades. So that's crazy, guys. That's amazing. I mean, that's really what you want to shoot for. This is the end of the game. So if you're lucky enough to get both of those and have like great on-use trinkets, go into Molten Core and do like 7k DPS on Lucifer. That's gonna be fun. Next we have on the offhand, we have Ilbis, Blade of the Fallen Seraph. Looks kind of cool, I guess. Drops from Instructor Resuvius. 1% crit, 1% hit, 26 AP. So really good. I mean, 30 DPS upgrade from Brutality Blade at least. So pretty damn good, guys. Is it as good as Hungering Cold? No, it's not even close, but it's still very good. Next we have, so other gear here, guys. I mean, I think we know Maladeath, we know the Anabushi. I'm not going to talk about those. Let's look at Widow's Remorse, and let's look at the Misplaced. Oh, we know about the Misplaced Servo Arm. You can dual wield Misplaced Servo Arms if you're lucky enough to see that many drop. So this one is Widow's Remorse, is 1.6 speed, 17 stamina, 1% hit. Looks absolutely dope as hell and drops from Grand Widow Fairlina. Let's look at the sim here. And Remorse. Widow's Remorse. I mean, honestly, guys, for me personally, it's not that big of an upgrade from Brutality Blade. Obviously, that's way different for you if you don't have the same amount of gear. But, you know, it is what it is. Misplaced Servo Arm, we've already talked about that. So that's human, guys. I mean, big upgrades for humans in there, especially their swords. Crystal Dawn of Ran, Hungering Cold, or the Castigator. Or the Castigator and the Anabushi Warhammer. Let's look at like what's going to be BIS. BIS is going to be Gristle Dawn of Ruin with Hungering Cold. Good luck doing that. That's going to be extremely hard to do. If, however, you can get the Castigator and you have an Anabushi Warhammer, that's going to be BIS for you as well because you're going to have that plus axe and everything. Or doing something like Gristle Dawn of Ruin and Maladat's going to be really good as well. So lots and lots of weapons to play with in Nax. You love to see that because that's what we're here for, right? Let's move on to Orc Dual Wheel. So Orc Dual Wheel, these swords are so good that Gristle Dawn of Ruin and the Hungering Cold are BIS for orcs as well. That's because the Hungering Cold is throwing that +6 swords your way. That's going to help with the weapon skill there. And I think that's going to push it close enough to the +7 you need to where it just makes it BIS. So that's really cool. Next we have the Hatchet of Sundering Bone. That's going to be your new secondary BIS main hand axe. Look at this thing. 2.6 speed, 36 AP, 1% crit. You can finally get rid of that Deathbringer. How's it look? Looks pretty cool, I think. So that's pretty dope. Alright, so we're going to main hand Hatchet of Sundered Bone. And we're going to offhand Cruel. Alright, so let's see here. Wow. That's really good. That's better than CTS Brutality Blade, I'll tell you that. So that's really good if you can get those. I think we know the rest of the weapons here. Horde Weapons in Nax, not as exciting as Alliance. That's okay though because you're still going for like the top two best ones: Gristle Dawn of Ruin and Hungering Cold. Hatchet of Sundered Bone, really good weapon. You're going to be pairing that with your Cruel. You're going to be pairing that with your Blessed Karazi War Axe or your Doom's Edge. So there's definitely a lot of cool new things for orcs, and you get to be sword boys now with the humans. So we'll all come together. We won't gank each other and purge each other outside of Nax, right? Of course not. Let's look at two hands for the orcs, and this is probably goes true for humans as well. Severance, like when I got canned from my last job, they gave me severance pay. It was just money though. It wasn't this sick axe. 43 strength, 18 stamina, 2% crit. 3.6 speed. How's it look? Looks cool, guys. I mean, looks like an AQ item, to be honest with you. So that's dope as hell. Dark Edge of Insanity, guys. We know this one. Got the little eye. This thing looks so cool. I love this thing. Haven't seen one drop yet in my AQ raids, but definitely have seen some people running around with it. And then we have Might of Menethil. 2% crit. This is a maze. 20 strength, 46 stamina. I think this is probably going to be, if you're a human two-hander, that's probably going to be best for you. Corrupted Ashbringer might be on there. I don't think. We're all meta players now, right? So like Corrupted Ashbringer isn't even on this list, even though it's so cool. So let's go find it. Where's it at? Corrupted Ashbringer. All right, so let's look at Corrupted Ashbringer. Minus 25 stamina. Wow, that's funny. Inflicts the will of Ashbringer upon the wielder, improves your chance to get a crit by 2%, 1% hit, steals 185 to 215 life from your opponent. Blade of the Scarlet High Lord. Looks dope as hell, and also I'm pretty sure you can go back into the Scarlet Monastery and do some like bonus RP shit with this thing. So it's not going to be better than Might of Menethil, but it's going to be like worth the get if like no one wants it. Like that was probably the weapon everyone wanted back in like 2005, but like now that everyone's just juiced up on world buffs and meta play, it'd probably get DE'd a lot or taken for PvP. But that's just how it is in 2020, isn't it? So that's it, guys. I mean, let's take a look at Edgemasters Phase 6 BIS. If you are, if you're an edgy boy, you're a troll, you're an orc or whatever, here's your BIS list, guys. Pretty much extremely similar to all the armor is the same to the regular boys, except you're running Edgemaster's Handguards, and you're running Hatchet of the Sundered Bone and Kingsfall, which is a dagger, which isn't even on the BIS list for all the other people. So that's a dope dagger, guys. So like, if you still are, if you're a meme race or whatever they want to call it, and you're running those Edgemaster's Handguards, you got a lot of options. Well, one of the things that's going to, it sucks because you can't put Gauntlets of Annihilation on, obviously, but your options this late in the game in terms of weapons, especially ones that aren't Gressel, Dawn of Ruin, and Hungering Cold, you got a lot of options, guys. So a lot of cool stuff to do there. And if you're running Aged Core Leather Gloves, you're a dagger boy, then your BIS, your phase 6 BIS is going to be, I would probably imagine, yeah, Death's, it's going to be all the armor the same with Kingsfall in your main hand, Death staying in your offhand. That's a very ambitious dagger setup, but I think daggers are like so cool. I offhanded a Purge Blade for a long time in phase 1 and phase 2, and I loved it because you attack so fast, your rage gen so steady. That's it, guys. That's the phase 6 BIS list. I think the takeaways here are that from an armor perspective, a lot of the thick armor is changing to still thick armor, but having more DPS oriented stats, getting someone rid of that thick stamina, getting someone rid of that plus defense, adding plus crit, adding more strength. That's really great to see. I think from a Trinkets perspective, guys, let me know in the comments below why is Kiss of the Spider and Slayer's Crest simming so low compared to like my Badge of the Swarm Guard and like even like Hodge. It doesn't seem right. So let's get some discussion in the comments below about that. If someone maybe a little bit more smarter, a little bit more big head on this could weigh in, let us normies know why it's doing that, and maybe we can kind of come to a better figure out what the hell's going on. That'd be great. And then weapons, guys, weapons. Such big weapons. Gressel, Dawn of Ruin, the Castigator, Hungering Cold. Lots of really good weapons here, guys. Hatchet of Sundered Bone, Severance if you're a two-hander, Might of Menethil, Corrupted Ashbringer. Lots of cool weapons, guys. So I think that moving into phase 6 as a warrior, it's time to have fun, guys. Our stats now with this gear, especially with our phase 5 gear, are absolutely insane. You add in world buffs and it's just really insane. So let's have fun. Let's live out this last phase. Let's raid until it makes sense for you to stop, and then let's wait for TBC. If you're a warrior and you're scared about TBC coming out, I'm going to be making some videos soon as to why you shouldn't play a warrior. I personally will still be maining warrior and creating warrior content in TBC, so don't worry. BigHesta will be here with you, even if we're last in the meters. I don't care. I'll go get the world buffs even if they don't work. I don't care. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Please drop a like to the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.